Black Supremacy's Nancy and Cecilia. Join the website kingdomuncensored.com. I hope you all like my thumbnail. I put some work in to reverse what I'm talking about today, and it is the Dove body wash commercial that will get your skin from normal to dark skin. Sorry, that is good for people with from normal to dark skin. So, right there, they're already telling you that this is really not for you, but this here is for you. So I want especially the sisters to pay attention. This video, of course, is for the brothers, and this video is particularly just talking about the overall general Dove body wash advertisement, right? Now, this advertisement, obviously we know it's a racist advertisement, right? And here's where we need to stop. This is what we need to stop doing. All right, it will benefit us if we stop doing these little tactics that I see happening. Whenever these companies come out and they make these racist commercials or these racist ads, Black people always are out there saying, well, you know what? I don't think she knew what she was doing. The one Black girl they got doing the dumb stuff in the video. Or they'll make excuses for the PR team, or they'll make excuses for the management. And, they'll say, well, you know what? They just didn't know. They'll accept their apology that they give, right, and continue to spend money with them. And here, I'm going to break this down for you. It's called advertising and marketing. But that is under a larger umbrella called capitalism. And capitalism is under a larger umbrella called white supremacy, right? They know what they're doing. Everybody in that knew what they were doing. Because, for one, let's start with Dove. Dove has been around for a long time, was probably funded off the backs of slavery. Dove, by now, they should be aware of all the racist advertisements from back in the day when they used to put Black people with big lips, exaggerated big lips on covers of soaps and hair gels and waxes. They're aware of those sepia type advertisements from back in the day. Dove, everybody who has been working in that company for a long time more than likely has come across that type of advertisement, and they probably have even had meetings and stuff on that, right? So then we go back to the PR team. The PR team, right? These people are seeing what works all day. They're seeing what's going on in advertisement, right? And they're seeing how people's sales go up. They gotta study sales. So when the other companies are making these quote unquote mistakes, they go and they do some research. Or somebody else that works for Dove goes and does the research and says, okay, well, you know what? They made this huge mistake and put this racist ad out. But look, their sales went way up, right? And then let's look at the models themselves. And see, stuff like this is going to make me even go back at one of my videos where I made about this white woman that was modeling with natural hair, and she made the apology that she didn't know. See, this is just a game they play on us. Oh, I didn't know. I just took a photo shoot that was like 5 years ago. I didn't even have no clue if I knew. They had you putting on an afro. Why else would you be putting on an afro? Okay, that's the video. I'll put the link in the description. You can go and check that out. But here, we're talking about this sister now that has modeled for Dove. Now, if they give you two shirts to put on, one is brown and one is cream. The cream one goes under the brown shirt. They got you taking pictures, lifting up the brown shirt. You're telling me you have no common sense and you don't know what they're about to do next, or you can't think ahead, right? But what it is they know that basically the public is pretty dumb. It's very dumbed down. A lot of you are very dumbed down. So they know that all they have to do is claim plausible deniability. I didn't know. I had no clue. If I knew, I wouldn't have done it. I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. No, see, you wanted that check, right? And this is what happens. It's like women can do shit like this, and you can get away with it. If a brother does something, all the sisters go at him, everybody attacks him, his whole career is done. But sisters, they can do these things because sisters are going to support them in their ignorance, because they're going to be like, oh, well, you know, she has to pay the check, she has to pay the rent, she has to pay her bills and whatever, right? And at the same time, white supremacy, these people, they're going to use you, these white supremacist ideologies and views, they're going to use you to say, look, she did it. So you can't blame us because, you know, she didn't say anything. She didn't stop us, right? So what you end up having is just a lot of people just kind of turning the other cheek, right? We need to get to the point where we see what it is. And, you know, we don't necessarily know the sister, so we can't be like, oh, we're not going to talk to her, whatever. But let me tell you what it really is, what's really going on. These white supremacists are funding and supporting this stuff. This is not a mistake. It wasn't an accident. Everybody knew what was going on. That sister got paid a lot more money to do that ad than she probably had did any other advertisement herself. And, right, and it's up there with how, I'm forgetting his name, but that racist right now that's going around doing seminars, and he's being funded by like a billionaire. So these companies, Dove, you're telling me that Dove is really going to feel hurt if black people stop shopping with Dove? No, they have people who fund them. It's the same thing when police kill black unarmed men in the streets, and they put up a donation button or a GoFundMe, and all these white people come and support them. So Dove is like, oh, well, you know what? The last time somebody did that, look how much money they got. So it's like two ways they could do this. They're going to get money from the people who see the racist message and be like, yeah, we're buying Dove now, honey. And their sales are going to go up, and they're going to get money from the billionaires who are probably backing this, who probably are like, you know what? Let's put these niggas in their place. Let them know who's boss. Let them know who their daddy is. You know, it's that whole ghetto gagger type scenario. And King Noble just made a video about that, so go and check that out. But that's exactly what's happening. They're turning you into their ghetto gagger hoes. And you all are happy about it because, you know, it's money. And you base a lot of your value on money, right? And you don't want your own indigenous natural stuff. You don't want to go back to nature. You don't want to use what our ancestors is using. You want to use something that was manufactured, that got its white label on it, its white stamp. Because first of all, a pigeon is a dove, right? So why is nobody using pigeon soap? Why are we using this albino? Like even Dove is racist. The whole company's racist. Dove. How many dogs have you seen flying around? So even Dove is already in the foundation of the organization. Racism is in the foundation, even by the very name, because a dove, that's basically you're saying that from the get-go you have cleansed all the melanin and all the blackness, all the dirt, and you have this white dove, right? So it's like you cannot say that. So now when we see these companies making these statements, right? Don't talk about boycotting. Don't talk about, oh, they didn't know what they were doing and she didn't know what she was doing. Dove did not drop the ball. They picked it up. They're turning it up on you. They're letting you know, all you sisters who swear by Dove, they're letting you know who's your master, right? And a lot of you is going to be like, yes, daddy. And this, you know, but for those of you who love yourself, and, you know, you basically just have to learn how to make your own products, learn how to make your own soap. You know, if you want, I can help you. If you really want help learning how to make your own products, I will put a link in the description where I can go in and I can teach you how to make your own soap, or help you identify a good soap to buy. Another thing is modeling. See, this is another way how they're getting a lot of you sisters. A lot of you sisters want to be models, right? And it's up there with what I spoke about in the R. Kelly video. You don't have to go to these other people to boost your career or to step up in life or to, you know, get exposed. You can put in the work. It is 2017. You have social media. You have Facebook, Instagram, all these social websites. You don't even need their social websites. You can create your own social website now. You can create your own platform. You can expose yourself. It's as easy as sharing a link. You can go viral that way. And even if you don't go viral, you can put yourself in front of the right people, right, who can support you. Not necessarily put yourself in front of, the situation of somebody who's going to take over your career or take over your life, basically, or you're going to sell your soul. But you can put yourself in, you can make connections. So that's another thing, is with the modeling. You can be a model. Like, you can use your phone right now that you have. You can use your camera and you can take some dope photos. You can invest in your own photography equipment. Like, stop depending on these racist white people. And you know it's racist. You know they're creeps. You sisters aren't going to call out the pedophiles when you're sending your child to modeling classes, when you're sending them to music classes, when you're sending them to singing classes. You're not going to call out those rapists, who are feeling up on you, feeling up on your daughters when you're trying to get them to boost their career, because you don't want to put the work in yourself, or you think this person is such an expert and so much better than you that you need their help, right? So a lot of you're going to have to start from a grassroots method. You're going to have to start from scratch, right? So that's another thing. I guess if you need help being a model, I can help you. Soap. It's funny because soap is basically how I came into a lot of consciousness. It's how I came into a lot of my consciousness. When I was younger, I was selling black soap straight from Africa, right? And that's basically how I came into a lot of awakening. The woman I worked for, her name was Ocean. All right, I called her Ocean, but really her name was Oshun, but I didn't know. And, now I've come into that awakening and that knowledge, and it's like, it's sad to see that something that, that we can put our own imprint on, or something that can support us, that our ancestors have for us, that, we turn our back on that and go to the white stuff. If you're using a soap that is white, what do you think is going to happen to you? Like, let me show you. This is black soap. This is black soap. Okay. This stuff has kept my skin clean, breakout free, blemish free, wrinkle free, all of that. And I want to show you something else. I'm taking the lid off, but see, it's finished. But this is shea butter. So I used to sell black soap and shea butter. That's all I use for the most part. And people used to always be asking me, "Oh, how is your skin so clear? How is your skin so nice, so soft, and so supple?" That is what I use. When I stopped using that, that was the only time I ever had problems, and the only time I ever felt like my skin was, not acting right, not going in the direction I wanted it to go, right? So again, if you want, I can help you with that. So I hope you get the overall vibe of what I'm saying here, is that these companies are not making mistakes. Dove is funded by a racist white institution. It's in the very foundation, even when you analyze the name. We have our own skincare and body care products that we need to learn how to make and pass on as a tradition. It's not just making these products just to sell them, just to get rich off of them, but to pass these things on so that they are not lost. So that way, our children are not subjected to continuing to try to be taken advantage of by these racist institutions, model agencies, and what have you. Learn how to make your own soaps. Learn how to model, whatever your career goal it is. You got to learn how to do that stuff yourself from scratch. That's the best way. Not this what they teach you about how to just going and looking to these white people, these white companies that have money. We have to set up our own foundations, set up our own spas, set up our own modeling agencies, our own photography studios, our own industry, our own empire. And that's what black supremacy is. That's what King Noble black supremacy is. That's why you see me and it's like, it's really no real problems over here, because everything is pretty much, our foundation is straight. Black supremacy is our foundation. Just